Welcome back to the Milwaukee Show, and today we are talking about game number 5 between the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, where the Leafs survive in a do-or-die game by winning it 2-1 and making the series 3-2. And before I start discussing this game, I'm going to say, Bruins fans, all of you out there, especially one of you, you better be watching this, I swear to God, but you know who you are, because I actually know you, that you do not need to panic. The Maple Leafs are not going to win this series. This is not going to be a repeat of last year with the Panthers. The Bruins are not going to have this stigma to them where they are a team that just gives up in the playoffs and whatnot, right? That is not an issue, right? They just had one bad game when they should have clinched it. And I gotta say, this game, for both these teams, this was one of the worst games I've ever seen in the playoffs. They were sloppy, they were ugly, they were slow, they were untrying, they just, nothing was moving in this game at all. The only thing that was good about it was Jeremy Swayman, Brad Marchand, Domi, and Matthew Knies. Those are the 4 players out of the combined 40 players on the ice that that looked like they were trying. Everyone else looked miserable. Everyone else was slow. Everyone was unattentive. No one was trying that hard. I mean, some guys like Trent Frederick had their moments, But overall, this team was just it was bad for both of them. Bad for both of them, and especially the Toronto Maple Leafs, but they're not going to be the ones that get all the attention because Bruins fans are freaking out right now. But the scoring was kicked off by Jake McCabe, followed by Trent Frederick getting his third of the series, and then finally in overtime, Matthew Knies gets the big goal in the end, where Domi crashes the net, gets a shot on the far side pad, it bounces out, and Charlie McAvoy can't find and retrieve the puck, block the shot, whatever you want to say. Swayman definitely can't get there in time, but he tried. But Matthew Knies was right there for the easy backdoor goal, and the Maple Leafs make the series 3-2. But here's the issue. First of all, first things first, Bruins, they were atrocious, sloppy, unrelaxed, panicky, and they were lazy and slow. This was a horrible game for them going forward because it shows you what this team in the playoffs can do. Because as much as this was a do or die game for the Maple Leafs, which I'll get on their asses here in a second, but for the Bruins, this was a game where they needed to make sure that they don't repeat what happened last year, where they're up 3-1 in a series and then they need to close it. They're at home in Boston and they just need to close the series, and they just don't. They don't close the series against the Bruins, against the Maple Leafs, and everyone now from my best friends who are currently just blasting up my phone, probably talking about it right now, about how, yeah, they are, and they're freaking out about it now, to everyone shaking in their boots, probably in Massachusetts, that the same thing is going to happen. You don't need to worry about that. But right now, this game was horrible for them. Horrible because they needed to show, hey, we're not the same team as last year. We're better. We might have lost some key pieces, but we're better than last year. And then they lose against their big Maple Leafs rival, right? And now they've given them that little bit of just life in them. But I have to say, what's probably even worse is the Maple Leafs. Now, I know that they're without Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner basically is a nothing player in this series. Nylander is trying to do something, but I don't know. Regardless of anything, regardless of all of that, this Maple Leaf squad, the Maple Leafs, this was a do-or-die game. This is a game that they are going out there, these big millionaires who can go on the ice and show what they are made of. Show that we're willing to fight for Leafs Nation. We are here for the fans. Not just here for the fans. We're here to silence our rivals here in Boston, right? That's what they're here for. And they go out on the ice and they just do absolutely nothing. When their big rival, the Bruins, right? The Bruins are out on the ice, it is up to them to show up and give this team life, to show up with energy, to show up with momentum and physicality and speed, and show that they're going to do whatever it takes to knock down their rivals and to march back and win, make it go back to Toronto and win, right? Sure, they might have won this game, but they were horrible. They were horrible because their rivals who didn't show up to this game, in a game where the Maple Leafs really needed to show up and then the Bruins didn't, they did nothing. And they barely survived. The Bruins had way more time for them to win this series. And for you down there, don't say anything in the comments like Joseph Wall was great or something. Joseph Wall or Joe or whatever they kept calling him in the broadcast that was annoying me. He was not the savior by any means. He was not the savior of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was fine. He was fine. He was not the issue. Samsonov was not the issue. That wouldn't have changed the dynamic of this series, of this game at all. That had nothing to do with it. The goaltending was not the issue. The issue with the Maple Leafs team is that they don't show up. They don't fight to win. And the Bruins right now are showing that they might not do it either. And regardless of anything, for both these two teams, they better be getting an ass eating by the coaches. Because they have, this team, they're going to go up against the Panthers, who went to the finals last year and have looked so good right now. They're going to look this horrible, before they go on the second round where they're going to face the Panthers, who just beat the hell out of the Lightning. Both these two teams should be ashamed. Marchand, Swayman, only guys trying to get anything going for the Bruins. Domi and Nyes trying to do so. Domi especially. Max Domi was really pushing the game. He had a couple good chances. He was the only guy who really looked like he had legs under him and was trying to fight for his life, which of course he was. He's that kind of player. He's that kind of heart on his shoulder kind of guy. And heart on his sleeve kind of player. And he showed up. Matthew Nyes being the rookie. I know he's not really a rookie, whatever. Matthew Nyes being the young guy on this team. Guy in Toronto from Phoenix. He's fighting for it. He wants to play good. From college just last year. And he's here in the playoffs trying to fight for being the real NHLer this season. And he gets the game winner because he was there a couple times in the slot. He was there for a couple good chances. Either one who had the wraparound front of the net where it almost went in. Matthew Nyes was on it this game. Everyone else, nothing from anyone else on these two teams. Morgan Rielly, Nylander, and Marner, and Tavares were still in this game. Do I remember anything that those guys did? Tavares a little bit. Tavares was on the ice for a couple of plays. But everyone else, Marner and Rielly, come on. Nylander, jokes. These guys are jokes. Matthews being out because he's sick, come on. There's no excuses for that. We literally just got the report from the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm going to read it for you right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they released the current updates of injuries. And Chernak has an AC joint sprain. Glendening has a dislocated shoulder. Hagel has a glute strain. Johansson has a quad tear. Mott has a broken ankle. Was playing really good. He was really pushing the pace in that series. Perbeeks has an AC joint sprain. Radis with an abdominal and left hip iliac crest contusion from a cross check. And Sherry has a ruptured tendon in his finger. TJ Oshie playing with a broken hand. That's what those guys play through, and they put on a show for the Tampa Bay fans that looked like they were trying to win. What do these Maple Leaf stupid jokes do? What does Mitch Marner think he's going to do by tangling up with Brad Marchand? If those two guys fought, then who was it? Who was it that was messing with Pasternak? Was it Nyes? No, was it Marner again? Forget who it was, but regardless, especially Marner. What the hell is that kid gonna do? He's gonna be yeah, let's go, and then he's just gonna go. I feel like if he tried to punch anyone, his hand would just crumple like a can, and then that arm would be gone, and then just Marchand could just slap him in the face, and then he'd be an LTIR for the next 3 years, right? These guys, these jokes of the Maple Leafs are insane. And right now, I know the Bruins are going to win this series. Maybe not by being this awesome team, but they're going to win because they almost won being awful. They almost won by being awful. And if they don't, then they deserve it. They deserve it because if they don't show up again and beat this horrible Maple Leaf squad, I don't know. This game was ridiculous to watch a bunch of millionaires not play a game. It's sad to watch when a team like the Bruins, a team like the Panthers, a team like the Lightning that fought so hard, just can't bring it any game. Just can't get the job done because they played up against a brick wall of a team, right? And that is all I got to say. So for right now, I know the Bruins are going to win it because even at their worst, they almost won this game. And they're going to bounce back, especially against a team like the Maple Leafs. They just wanted to upset them in Toronto. So that is all I got to say. So thank you for watching this. If you made it this far, please, I'm begging you, please subscribe. Please. I'm almost to 500. Be the 500 subscriber. You know what? Don't even be the 500. Be the 499. Subscribe, put your name down there, and I'll shout you out next video. So thank you for watching this, and until next time, too sweet. Have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.